Comics on the go, bro.
What's going on, Comic Book Tribe? I am Molecular Maurice, and welcome to the Unmasked Comic, where we do comics on the go, bro. Tonight, I am excited to present Penguin number 3. It has been one exciting read, and right now, it is very much my pleasure to go ahead and then bring this story to you. Let's begin. In the outskirts of Metropolis, Penguin and Agent Nuria Espinosa meet in a suburban home. Agent Espinosa cannot stand Metropolis because it is hard to do covert operations. Agent Espinosa alludes to Superman being the reason. So the house is chosen in the suburbs because Superman more than likely will be occupied in the city. Now rolling in, Penguin introduces the old man from the last issue. Penguin needs 5 addresses, handing Espinosa a paper. This whole time, Espinosa is in her head about this current assignment. She is swearing up a storm. To Penguin's delight, breaking an oath she made to herself about swearing and self-control. But in issue number 1, Penguin unnerved Espinosa. Right now, all she could do is play by Penguin's rules as she reverts back to her old self. If Espinosa wants him to go back to Gotham, he requires the names on that paper, which Penguin refers to as goons. But Espinosa is not with this request. Apparently because the names on his list were at one time patriots employed and empowered by the government. But when they were of no longer use, the government stripped them of their abilities, their duties, and then we're done with them. Now, Penguin has a way of bringing back has-beens that are now broken. He says this to Espinosa, reminding him of that particular trait and talent he has when he walks out of the house. Next, in a ditch underneath an overpass, a man is lying down. He is completely disoriented and does not know where he is. What appears to be a homeless man walks over to see if he is okay. Still not knowing if he is here or there, he seems disturbed that the homeless man broke his train of thought, checking up on him. The homeless man tells him, like, look, you seem like you're almost dead, and I wanted to make sure that you're okay. I don't mean you any harm. The confused man now grabs the homeless guy by his coat lapels. This time thinking, looking at him, wondering if that homeless man is himself. Then yelling for the homeless man to be quiet as he's trying to explain or find out what's going on. But the homeless man gives him a warning to let him go. Still confused, he looks at the homeless man and then for some reason thinks that the homeless man is himself. And with this gentleman, it's important for him to be quiet, which his name is Silent Majority. And so because the homeless man wouldn't be quiet and kept talking, Silent Majority slaps the taste out of the homeless man's mouth. The homeless man, in retaliation, he knocks him to the ground. Meanwhile, Silent Majority is wondering why he is hurting himself, because he's thinking the dude is him. Remember, he's disoriented and he's confused. Now the homeless man, though, he continues to stop him. He's stomping him out. And then yelling at him, I was trying to be nice to you, but this is what I get. Now, he knew he shouldn't have talked. It got him into this crazy predicament because Silent Majority is not supposed to speak. And so now he's in this predicament with this homeless man. He's upset and he keeps rambling in his head about being silent. Meanwhile, when he's ranting like that, the homeless man grabs a thick piece of wood And then he lets him know that after he beats him senseless, he will never slap him again. Now, Silent Majority's on the ground, about to get struck. He thinks to himself that he is about to kill his own self, until a gunshot from behind kills the homeless man instantly. Boom. Penguin then comes from the shadows with the old man behind him, the help. He exchanges pleasantries of admiration towards Silent Majority. Penguin then introduces the old man as his help to Silent Majority. Then, while holding his hand out to help Silent Majority get up, and then Penguin gets to his point. Penguin understands that at one time the man was many, but now just one. So he's like, follow me, and then he will return the Silent Majority back to power. The man responds back by asking Penguin if he was him. But Penguin responds, no, I'm not, but now you belong to me. Now this guy, he calls himself Major Victory, leader of the Force of July. When the government took back everything they gave them, the honor, the abilities, the purpose, it destroyed the team, but not him. The others, they chose to be losers, falling to the wayside in the depths of Skid Row. The government can take away a lot, but they couldn't take away their bodies. And that was Major Victory's thinking. He hit the gym daily, before sunrise, weights, fighting, cardio, maintaining his body at the perfect machine for U.S. agenda. He kept himself on the ready. If the least he can do is punch somebody in the face, it will do for him, because it means that he still functions. He didn't lose anything. Now, how dare Oswald Cobblepot stumble on him and then try to bring him a proposition like he's nothing? The audacity to think Major Victory is like the others. He thinks to himself he doesn't need the government's welfare and self-pity or benefits. Let the rest of the team have it. All he has to do now is beat the old man in the ring to show this fat, ugly, big-nosed little man he misjudged him. But Major Victory fails at every attempt to defeat the old man. With every swing, there is a miss and a punishable counterattack. Every round brings Major Victory to the ring floor. Penguin literally had to help beat Major Victory into submission to learn a lesson, that he is nothing and can only be someone again with the help of the Penguin. Penguin moves on to extend his services among lost members of the Force of July, speaking with empathy to Mayflower, who was once a metahuman green thumb, a queen of the floral kingdom, now convincing herself that she can still possess the powers of manipulating nature's beauty. Mayflower listens to Penguin's promises of restoring her purpose again. Instead of living a life of delusion, she can reunite with her team. Penguin now patiently follows her to her backyard. She attempts to water overflowing grass and weeds. Penguin is transparent about not being able to give her powers back, but he has connections and can introduce her to Pamela Isley, saying this as Mayflower, mentally describes her garden. But the underlining sell for her is that Pamela Isley, also known as Poison Ivy, with her mentorship, she could once again cultivate the gardens in her favorite form, dangerous. Freedom, though, can also be dangerous. American culture provides so many options, liberty being one of them. As a fallen Lady Liberty chooses the option to drink away her pain. by herself in a near closed bar with the real slow bartender. Lady Liberty is having a mental argument with the bartender, almost as if he should pick up on her nonverbal cues. Penguin sits right next to her and lets Miss Liberty know he knows who she is. However, he plays it smart, letting her know he casts no judgment or presumptions on her. But he knows that her drinking is a result of being misused. Moreover, maybe she was always an alcoholic, but now she's an unemployed one. An alcoholic not in control that she would like to be. Liberty takes another shot. She has an idea of why Penguin is there. The bartender pours her another drink, and Liberty recites the new Colossus, which is the poem engraved on the Statue of Liberty. Penguin doesn't say a word, but that was Liberty's way of introducing herself, therefore telling Penguin he found the right person. The whole time she's doing all this, she's focusing on how fast her drink is being poured because the bartender is just not doing it for her. So as Penguin's still giving, his spiel, she's reaching over the bar and then just grabs the bottle because he took too long to come back, and she poured another one herself. I mean, she is Lady Liberty, right? So she took the liberty to pour herself a drink. At the same time, she's doing this also making her terms with Penguin. Despite, the new Colossus poem and the things in it that was supposed to be representative of her character, none of that really matters anymore. It's all about money. She says, all I want is money and lots of it. I got expenses. I got things to do, and money's all I need. To hell with that poem. That's how I took what she was saying. Then once, it's out in the open and both of their agendas are said to each other, then a deal is struck and, to appease both. Penguin did his research and knew one of the members did not need or want to be appeased. The last 4th of July recruit, the Sparkler, walks into his apartment from a long day of teaching. It is a tiny school of Quakers, but it has purpose and he is passionate about it. Sparkler, not having a need for more, has easily left his past behind him. That is a problem the Penguin already calculated. So when Sparkler walked in the door, his sister is on her knees, tied and gagged, the old man holding a gun to her head, ready at the slightest sign to take her out executioner style. The Sparkler is now frozen, and Penguin calmly explains to him why he is in this predicament. Being a businessman, Penguin understands that there is not a demand for his services, not with Sparkler. So, this is why a demand was created with Sparkler's sister to get him on board. So his sister was the need for Sparkler to join. And this is why a demand was created, for Sparkler's sister. Sparkler seems to be the noble one in the group. The man is focused on his goals. And even in that moment, he's thinking about his classroom and what they need, the assignments that he's going to give them, his whole lesson plan. He's thinking all this as his sister's on the floor with a gun pointed to her head. And Sparkler is strong-willed, though. Even though he appears to look like a pushover, he's strong-willed. Hence, Penguin had to break Sparkler's stubbornness so he could get his way, because he knew Sparkler was going to come on that noble shit. You know what I mean? And that's how we got Sparkler in. Once the team is finally assembled, they enter an undisclosed location. Penguin is watching them under surveillance as they enter, one by one, speaking to the help or the old man as they sit down. We have Lady Liberty that could fire psychic energy through her torch. Major Victory, former team leader, once possessed superhuman strength and flight. Sparkler projects light through his fingers like fireworks, something like Jubilee from X-Men. Mayflower could manipulate plants, bending and shaping to her will, and Silent Majority, the man who can replicate himself. Silent Majority duplicated himself so many times, no one knows if he is the original one. Hence why he's always confused about who he is or if someone stole his identity, which explains the part where he was at the overpass with the homeless guy. Now Penguin, back to him, is ecstatic now, being able to play the puppet master with the reformed 4th of July. Totally about the BS, Penguin wastes no time to get to the point. To expel their curiosity, he explains their purpose. And it's simple. He's going to Gotham and needs people or goons who can follow orders. Nevertheless, he is aware that the team has created some horrible acts for the US government. So to hire the 4th of July for what he needs to do now is cake. Proceeding, the team is told to look or feel underneath their seats. Planted there, each has a pistol and are told they are to shoot whoever comes through that door. Major Victory is the first one to grab his weapon, and he's impressed by Penguin's efficiency. Mayflower tries to be modest and claims she no longer likes to kill, but Lady Liberty, called her out and reminded her how she crushed Argentinian farmers and choked them to death with grapevines, and the rest of them sat there and laughed at it. Sparkler is locking and loading. He wasn't happy, and he remembers not laughing about that situation. And you still have, we have Silent Majority who's still rambling about who is who seconds after Sparkler's comment. Sparkler takes a second and he questions their moral ground, reminding the team that they were the good guys when they were employed before. Lady Liberty, she just seems to like to call people out, is now calls him out for, being like delusional, like he's thinking he's being an idiot. And at the end of the day, he did horrible acts just like the rest of them. So let's not sit here and pretend that we were fighting a good fight. We were doing the dirty work for the government. That's it. The good teacher citizen thing doesn't work anymore. So stop it. Major Victory, he is unrattled by what is being said because according to him, he's still as good as he was before, and he hasn't lost a beat. Silent Majority is going with the flow carelessly, even pointing the gun at his own head. He has there's nothing for him to fear. He's he has nothing to lose. So in a sense, he's kind of like the most dangerous one there. So the group is in a revolving conversation now about how they see their present situation. Mayflower and Sparkler struggle to create a justification for this new position that they're in because they don't want to think what they really are. They rather play mind games with themselves. Lady Liberty and Major Victory, they're all about it. They're about the bullshit, right? They see it as horrible but duty, and they accept both. This is who we are. This is what we do. I'm good at it, and I'm about to get paid. Now, as Silent Majority keeps murmuring these who is who riddles to the team. And so the team leader now, he looks at Silent Majority. He's like, man, will you stop this philosophical, crap trying to play riddles with yourself, man? Just stop. Just stop. He's like, and now with all that said, it is time to perform as the 4th of July once again, with everyone standing and now pointing pistols at the door, ready to gun down the next person who comes in there without question. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the issue of Penguin number 3. I'm telling you, every time I read the next issue, it is more exciting than the last. I love how they take the dialogue of whoever Penguin encounters and they go into what they're thinking. And Penguin is a beast. And the thing with him is that he is so underestimated, even to like fans. And so with these stories, DC they're bringing in a way of like, he's sadistic, like he's not a joke. He's a short, ugly, fat dude, but he is so like manipulative. He is calculated. He plans his steps, and then he's got the mind. And when it comes to like violence, he's pretty dangerous, but he also has the blackmail approach. He dealt with all 5 of those members differently. He didn't present them the same with his proposition. He did not come at them the same way. All of them were different, and that's another thing that caught my attention with this issue, is how just elusive Penguin is. From the first issue to now, he has gotten everybody to do exactly what he wanted them to do. Even the people who felt they had control of the situation, he let them think it and say whatever they wanted to, and then when he was ready, he reversed it, flipped it on them. Case in point, Agent Espinosa. So, I cannot wait to see what else is coming. If this is a series that is going to run from anywhere from like 6 to 10 issues, I have no doubt at this point. I mean, it has to get better, But if it's an ongoing thing, I cannot wait to see just issues and issues after they spread. Because just with these last 3, you can play off of so many other things and then extend the comic series off of just those people alone, or take the 4th of July. What happened to make them get to that point? How they were before, just all kind of stuff, just all kind of craziness. But anyway, back to the point. If you haven't gotten this issue, still go ahead and read it for yourself and support the industry, the writers, and everything else like that, because it is good work. And I think, yes, you should definitely take this comic and read it for yourself. I just told you my version of the story. So pick it up, look at it, read it. And with that being said, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment, and spread this comic book love. I am Molecular Maurice, the Unmasked Comic, and I will see you again when I present the next issue. Have a good night, people.
This is the rhythm of the...
Yeah, baby! Comics on the go, bro.